Hi, everyone. Everybody can hear me? Great. All right, sorry we had a little computer fiasco, so I have my presentation. I'm ready to start. Thank you for coming out today. I am with Uptake, and I lead our product and engineering for our platform. So today we're going to talk about what our platform does. It's an AI and machine learning IoT platform, and how we generate financial outcomes that really have a impact on the bottom line, that are financial outcomes that our customers are really looking for. So let's take a step back and talk about kind of like the setup for Uptake and what it is that we do. So there's a lot of data. Everybody knows that the amount of data is growing at a massive rate. We have 20.8 billion connected devices by 2020. So Gartner research says more and more devices are coming online, which means we have more and more asset data, which follows more and more contextual asset data that surrounds those assets and needs to be consumed in order to make any valuable predictions out of this data. So the AI and technology sector says, okay, how much of this data is actually being used within industry? As little as 1% of the data is actually being used in the industrial sector. So more and more data is coming online, more and more contextual asset data is being there, which means that there's missed opportunities everywhere you look that businesses could be using to identify outcomes that would impact their financials, as well as the time that they spend on repairing and maintaining these assets. So what does that mean for the overall market for industrial AI? So industrial AI is outpacing previous technology shifts. So the World Economic Forum tells us that the value of the opportunity for industrial AI is outpacing all the other non-industrial sectors combined. So there's a huge market opportunity here, and why I'm ultimately here is to talk about Uptake. So what is Uptake? Uptake is built on the premise that we can take this mountain of data that we talked about, where all these devices are getting connected, you have all this asset metadata that surrounds it, and you can turn that into actionable insights, measurable financial outcomes for your business. So that saves customers time and money. So Uptake was founded in 2014. We really have industrial assets at our core. Our DNA is all about industry. So we use our combined AI platform and applications in order to solve complex challenges that our customers face, using that to optimize for their individual needs, predict and prevent problems before they happen on the assets that they have. In doing that, we make our customers more productive, more reliable, more safe, and more secure. So how do we actually do that? Enter the Uptake platform. So we've built our platform from the ground up. At the very core is AI and machine learning. Every decision that we've made about our platform has been in service toward data science, AI, and machine learning, and furthering the insights that we can generate from that mountain of data that we were talking about. Our platform is fully managed. So what does that mean? We take the full life cycle of your data, from data ingestion, data transformation, data processing, all the things that have to happen to the data to make it valuable for data science use. So all of the things that make it ready, and then actually doing, building, training, deploying, productionalizing, and operationalizing data science, as well as creating the insights and the outcomes from that data science. So it isn't enough just to create the insights, you have to create the outcomes. So you need to deliver applications from those insights that actually drive change and financial outcomes within your business. So Uptake creates sets of tools and applications that allow you to build on the platform and visualize the data in order to make that happen. So put very simply, we take all of the very messy IoT data that you have out there, normalize it, and make it ready for data science so that you can build highly productive and impactful solutions on top of our platform. In addition to thinking about the entire spectrum within the fully managed platform, we also democratize data science so that individual businesses can quickly deploy and extend data science capabilities to make it work across the entire spectrum of expertise within their business. So junior data scientists and analysts within a firm, all the way to very expert data scientists and machine learning experts that can take our platform and gain value by deploying models within our ecosystem. Our platform is distributed and open and secure, which we'll talk more about in a little bit. And it's flexible and scalable, so we'll meet you at your spot within your digital transformation and digital journey. All right, so we talked about the platform, which is really the foundation for everything that Uptake does, but that's just one piece of the overall value stream that we're creating. So we have, in addition to the platform, we have a set of applications that are built on top of our high productivity platform that allow you to deliver the insights and the outcomes that the platform creates through our data science. So the platform gives you tools to be productive out of the box, while our applications deliver specific outcomes, such as asset performance management or APM. So we take all the outcomes and supercharge them, leveraging the platform underneath. In addition to that, we're built for industry. So we have sets of curated content that we can apply into the value stream that allows you to get up and running faster. So we have asset hierarchies, repositories of failure modes and failure data, contextual data sets that allow you to supercharge your models and your predictions. All of this, the platform, the applications, and the content, ultimately work towards achieving speed to value and getting up and running on our platform. We can also use that and the insights created from the platform and the applications to serve up financial outcomes. So let's talk about just a few examples of the financial outcomes that Uptake has been creating with our customers to date. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold. So within the energy industry, we're powering a new era for wind by increasing wind turbine health and availability, improving asset output per hour, optimizing asset maintenance and operationalization, operating costs. Uptake has unlocked $3.3 million in potential annual value creation. Within the rail world, we leverage data to reinvent how railroads run on track, in the shop, and at the yard. Within a tier 1 railroad, Uptake monitored 630 assets and unlocked $160,000 in potential revenue opportunity, which per locomotive per year, which equals over $100 million per year in annual value creation. Within the manufacturing industry, we've delivered significant productivity and efficiency gains through using our platform products to provide real-time visibility into component lifetime and life cycle and health. So we can create those financial outcomes, but ultimately, in order to do that, we must use AI to solve several key challenges. So this is the aspect of that fully managed platform. So you have data ingestion, data transformation, data processing, all the things that you need to do, connecting out to sensors, connecting to your enterprise sets of data and all your different ERP and CRM systems, bringing all that data into one common place. Then, once you've made it all ready for data science, you actually have to build and train and deploy and operationalize all the models that you're going to run and keep them up to date. And then you have to take those to deliver outcomes that ultimately impact the financial well-being of your business. And so, how are we going to do that while at the same time, solving these challenges and accelerating the outcomes AI is capable of delivering? Well, I'm going to talk about 5 different outcome accelerators and the way Uptake is positioned in order to help. So the first we talked about a little bit, which is that you have to use the data science capabilities of the platform in order to democratize and operationalize data science. So what's the first thing that you should do? Should identify a KPI that you actually want to have an impact on. Don't think about what data you have, think about what data you need in order to drive that KPI. then figure out how you're going to go and get that data. Once you understand what that is, then you want to empower your data science team or leverage a solution which allows you to quickly deploy and operationalize data science. So Uptake handles all the heavy lifting in this process. We, from the junior data scientist to the data analyst, all the way to the expert data scientist, we allow the full spectrum of integration for your data scientists and engineers to come and build on our platform. So one example of actually doing this is that in the past, companies have had to spend months building models, then deploying them, and they'll find that they build them on one system and have to train them on a certain set of data, and once they go to productionalize it, they're working with a different set of data, which resets the process in certain places. Or even worse, a company will build a model for a specific purpose, and then it'll just be, kind of pushed into some presentation that gets presented and never followed up on, or model performance statistics are never calculated so that you don't understand the impact that model is having. With Uptake, you have a set of data science models that you can instantly deploy with just a few clicks, such as our failure prediction engine. Our failure prediction engine is one example of an AI engine that we use at Uptake that allows you to take all the contextual data that you have about an asset, as well as all the other asset types that Uptake has seen that look like your asset, and use that data to power outcomes leveraging the data that the asset is producing right now. So we can use that data to say, I believe your asset is going to fail in 2 weeks. And we can use that to drive financial outcomes so that the assets are repaired before they fail, which is always significantly less expensive than having the assets fail. So the next outcome accelerator that I want to talk about is the content. We talked about this a little bit, but don't start from scratch. Leverage a platform and an ecosystem that allows you to get up and running quickly. Uptake knows all about industrial data and industrial assets, and we use that to allow you to get up and running very quickly. I talked about asset hierarchies and failure mode data. Some assets aren't actually connected. So for assets that don't have connected data coming off of them, you want to have a platform that delivers insights on both. So Uptake has the asset strategy library, which is a library of equipment types and failure modes and maintenance strategies that you can use to produce financial outcomes when you don't have connected assets. So next thing that you want to do is leverage, when it comes to content, is leverage pre-trained data science models. So I talked about the different ways that you can interact with data science in Uptake's platform. You want to use pre-trained models that already know about industry. Within the Uptake platform, within a couple clicks, you can deploy a model on asset types that we've seen before, which gets you up and running very, very quickly. Get smarter predictions with contextual data. So Uptake's platform taps into data such as industrial weather data, geospatial data, satellite imagery and traffic data, using all of those things to make smarter predictions, hooking them up to our data science model so that you don't have to do that yourself. Finally, when we talk about content, benefit from the power of network effects. So I talked about this a little bit before, but the ability to make every customer better than they could be themselves. So surfacing network effects within industries and across industries allows us to take what we know about assets in one place and apply them across our entire customer base so that you don't miss out on things that we've learned about our other customers. Understand that the future is specialized and open. So one of the key things about Uptake's data science platform is that it is open. We allow you multiple different ways to engage and work with the platform. So the first we've talked about several times now is our pre-built models. The other is being able to deploy and import your own models. And then finally, extend and leverage Uptake's AI engines. So let's talk about that one a little bit. Uptake has a set of AI engines that can work across, such as the failure prediction engine that we saw before, that work across your set of assets that allow you to stamp out models that work with just a few clicks, deploy and train your model within the platform, and get up and running very quickly. We also are an open platform, so you can bring your own data science into the platform, and we integrate with your existing data science and engineering teams to be able to take those models, put them in the platform, and run them alongside all of the other models that Uptake has deployed. The advantages of doing that are the operational scale and performance that the Uptake platform provides, as well as the visibility and the performance reporting metrics that we're able to collect to understand how effective this model is at driving financial outcomes within your business. All right, so partner for competency and speed to value. This is a really hard problem when you look at it end to end. There are multiple ways to do this. You could say, I'm going to go it alone, and I'm going to build it myself from the ground up. I'm going to look at that and say, okay, that's really high risk, and it's going to be really, really expensive. You have to hire all the people. It's going to take a few years to build. There's just a lot of moving pieces in order to be able to do that well. The next option is to buy a toolkit and assemble different parts off the shelf. That's less risky than going it alone, but it still requires you to hire all the data scientists and build in all the monitoring capabilities and to actually evolve and maintain the platform going forward. Finally, you can deploy a solution. Switch on a purpose-built solution like the Uptake platform and let us do the heavy lifting while you focus on running your business the way you know how. All right, so as I wrap up, I want to talk about, again, some case studies that Uptake has. You want to make sure your insights link back to real-world financial outcomes. So I'm going to talk about a few of these. Within the heavy equipment and dealer space, we were able to make 17,000 recommendations to one heavy manufacturer or a heavy equipment dealer, which optimize their service and sales process in order to provide $2 million in incremental parts and service revenue to our customers. The next one is, again, going back to the nuclear space, where we looked at a 37% annual reduction in preventive and corrective maintenance hours, which ultimately reduced costs by 20% and saved our customer $10 million. And finally, we talked about this one briefly before, but just to give you the scope of this Class 1 railroad engagement I talked about, taking 2 billion data points processed over the course of a year, feeding that into 34 production prediction models that ultimately generated 554 railroad failures that we prevented. All of those sum up into $160,000 per locomotive per year that we saved, while at the same time allowing technicians and operations workers within the different shops to identify those failures 2,000 days earlier than they would have if they weren't using Uptake software. So, it's mostly what I have here. We talked about the massive amount of data that's being generated and the way that Uptake's platform is positioned in order to solve that. Talked about the different outcome accelerators and the way that Uptake's platform is approaching these problems in order to make a turnkey solution to be able to get data in, do data science on it, and build applications and visualize data. And then we walk through some of the case studies. So that's all I've got. Thank you guys for coming. Uptake is at booth 2714, so if you guys have any questions, want to learn more about Uptake, our platform, applications, the content that we have, please stop by and talk to us. We'd love to chat about this stuff more. I'm free to answer questions now or after, if you guys want to riff on this stuff a little bit more or talk about it in any more detail.
All right, if anyone has a question now, and yes, wild applause. If you do have any questions now, I'd happily hand you the microphone so everybody could hear it. Anybody have any immediate questions? We're good? Okay, and again, the booth number there for Uptake Technologies, 2714. Thank you so much, Brad.